Welcome to the Bits Matter podcast. I'm your host, Doug Ridley, and today we're continuing Season 2, A Strategic Approach to Branch Design, with Episode 4, Cost Savings. In this episode, I'm joined by William Foley, co-founder of the Element Group and an expert in design build projects for banks and credit unions. Today, we talk about key points during planning and budgeting where clients are reducing project costs. Now let's get started. William, let's talk about cost savings. How are clients saving on their projects?
I think the biggest thing in my mind is a team approach. Get everyone involved from day one, from the institution, the financial institution, to the designer, to the architect, to the general contractor, to the supplier. So everyone has buy-in from day one. And then also, once you have everyone's buy-in, to design a more efficient, well thought out square foot branch.
And that buy-in seems to be also a way to save on like time and changes in the future as well.
Correct. So everyone understands the conceptual drawing. We're all looking at it at the same time. We're confirming the budget works. We're confirming that there's no long lead items. We have all of our ducks in a row, per se, to proceed forward.
And, one thing when we talk about savings and knowing budget that we do is we run the budget throughout the project multiple times.
Correct.
To make sure that things are still aligned, that there's no surprises there.
And we do a lot of in-house takeoffs during early planning, during schematic design and design development, because we have a database of all costs that it takes to design and build a bank throughout the country. So we do that early on. And then as we're going through the project, we'll get buy-in from local subcontractors, a local general contractor that understands some of the local costs. And then we'll test that in every phase from schematic design, design development, construction documents.
Well, talk to us a little bit more about the square footage piece, because that's something you and I went back and forth on quite a bit, is just how much more efficient these banks are becoming in smaller spaces, but still being able to serve members and customers well, still be very comfortable for the full-time employees, still meet these branches' goals.
Yeah, we understand technology, and that plays an important role in defining the square footage of the branch. Are we using ITMs? Are we using teller pods? We're not using a traditional teller line. It takes up more space.
Let's talk about cost savings.
We're designing smaller
How are
offices
clients
with
saving
natural
on their
light
projects?
and glass to appear larger. We're using more vertical space. So we're taking all those things into consideration to design a smaller square footage footprint to save dollars for our clients.
Continuing on with square footage, when we talk about it, how are we helping clients just evaluate how much square footage they actually need?
Well, we're kind of looking at what type of services are involved in the branch, what type of services, how many employees we'll need in the branch, how many transactions, what type of functionality, what type of drive up. We're taking all that information plus circulation, back of house, break rooms, restrooms. We're putting that into our database and helping understand exactly what the square footage should be for the client's needs and then for the new technology and for a more efficient branch.
And Element has, I think, an in-house sort of formula calculation that we run everybody
Correct.
through as well.
Our architects and designers all understand what it takes to define the square footage. So we put that into the database with all the information. And actually, it's tested and looked at and updated as we look at new branches.
When we're talking about square footage, we've talked a lot about the reduction in square footage.
Correct.
3,000, 4,000 square feet used to be the norm. What are we seeing people get down to like nowadays?
Right now, if we do the formulas right and we understand the client needs, we can get down to 2,000 square feet and still have a fully functional branch. And we've gotten as low as 750 square feet that still have private office, still has the ITM, still has teller pods, still has technology, a lot of digital in the branch.
So, and I feel like when we talk about square foot, it is you have to buy the land or you have to lease the land, but then it's also, you have to staff it as well. So that's full-time employees, that's, heating and cooling the branch, but anything else there that we're talking to clients about, or that clients are coming to us and asking us about?
Well, a lot of times they'll come to us and, how much land do I need? I'm looking at a parcel, it's a quarter acre. What type of facility can I put on that? Because it's in the right location. I love where it's located. It's by the traffic light. It's by Dunkin' Donuts. It has all the check marks. So we'll look at it and we'll define it. We'll look at setbacks. We'll look at how much drive up is needed and this and that. And we'll go through the square footage analysis and give them a determination. Oh, yes, you could fit 2,000 square foot on this location.
The thing that I've seen our designers and architects do is not just the building, but also the plot of land as well. Traffic flow. Oh, you're going to want people to come in here. Let's put the parking lot over here versus the drive up over here, because you don't want people crossing.
Well, the thing we look at, and a lot of institutions love this about it, is we start from the drive, like the approach to the parking lot.
Literally,
where is the drive up? Where's the branding? Where's the signage? So we're starting our design from the street and working into the building.
Literally how a member or a customer is going to first experience the branch
as soon as they get into the parking lot. And that's why we look at digital signage that's on the outside, where the drive up's located, where the ATM's located, where the ITMs are, what type of branding is on the building. So they have that visual as soon as they pull into the parking lot.
Wow, that's super interesting to think about. We talk so heavily about what the branch and the experience is when you get in the branch. And we do talk about digital signage and how it can be, extending the brand outside of the branch. But that idea of what's the experience as you pull in.
And don't you want your member or customer to feel welcome as soon as they pull into the parking lot, and make it easy for them to understand, do I need to do a transaction today? Do I want to go in and close an account? Where do I need to go? Where do I park? How do I get to the drive up? All those things are defined early on, and that could even be in the critique.
And I would have to think that during the critique phase, we're seeing people not intentionally, but just make mistakes because this is the first time that they might be doing this sort of build up, renovation, whatever that project might be.
Exactly.
Well, William, thank you for joining us. Any parting thoughts to institutions as they start their 2026 budget planning season?
Well, I think the biggest thing is work with someone that has the expertise in the design build world. If that's what you're looking at, have a realistic budget, a realistic timeline, and it will be successful.
And that's a wrap on this week's episode. A big thanks to William Foley for joining us and sharing ways you can save during your next branch project. If you're preparing for budget season and unsure where to begin, keep in mind that upfront planning isn't solely about drawings and numbers. It's about getting everyone, from the financial institution to the architect, contractors, and suppliers, involved from day one. A big thank you to our producer, Bryn Baldessaro, with music by the George Brown Band. Be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for next episode, where Mark Healy joins us to talk about how the retail mindset influences branch design. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. Sing